All right, so I'm sorry, but I seem to be having camera grief. So can you at least hear me? Let me know in the comments if you can hear me. Okay, well, that's one thing anyway. Oh, for some reason, the same camera I always use, and it's not working. Oh, man. All right. I may have to start the stream again, but let's just see if I disconnect this. This camera always works. I don't get it. I don't understand. But of course it is. All right. All right, well. Okay, well, maybe it's, let's just see if this is, no, that's not the problem. Oh, Lordy. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what the deal with the camera is. All right, so what I'm going to do is, what am I going to do? I'm going to stop the stream. Oh, you can see me now? Oh, well, for some reason, I'm not getting to see me, but that's fine. Like, if you guys can see me, that's awesome. Okay, yay. Well, I'm not getting a preview, but as long as you guys see it, that's awesome. Yay. Okay, well, so it's just for me. That's great. Okay, so that is okay. So awesome. So welcome aboard for the Collage Jam. Finally, for what day is it? March 25th. Oh yeah. So I have a class in the morning, so I have less than an hour between when I get home and getting this on the show on the road. So, thank you. And I'm going to apologize now for my cringy voice because it's work in progress. I've had a lot of training, believe it or not, but it is still a long ways to go. So, and I also have a cold because of in situ, pushing really hard to get all the design work done for in situ, and as well as Kim's installation installed and then deinstalled. So, so I'm really happy to be back here with you guys doing some collage. And Kim sends her regrets. She's exhausted from in situ, and then so I was getting ready to go to bed last night, and she said, "Okay, well, I guess I have to finally get myself going on this jurying that's due on Monday morning." So when I got back up this morning at 7, and then when I left the house at 9, she was still working, having started last night. So working on she's jurying something for town of Oakville. So yeah, so she's awake, but only barely. So she says hi and her regrets. And oh, and Cherie, I'm so sorry that I missed you guys, you, Loretta, and Lisa. So I came down with a cold on Thursday. We went Thursday night and I wore a mask. But between Thursday night and Saturday night, mostly all I did was lie in bed, and then sort of rallied enough to go on the Saturday night. But the Friday night, I couldn't get myself out of bed. So I'm really sorry to have missed you guys, because I hope you enjoyed it. It was an awesome show. So I'm just going to catch up with the comments. So or try to anyway, before they scroll out of. Yeah, we'll wave a new flag for you today. Thank you, Joy. I appreciate that. Philippa says, hey, Kat, Philippa here. Just rushed in from driving and go home to a doctor's appointment. Welcome along. You can take a little breath now, chill out, maybe do some collage or maybe just chill. Either way. Hey, Brian. Nice to have you along. In case you didn't get the memo, Brian, I'm now Kat. Sorry if you didn't get that, but I'm in the mid-transition at this point. So. And Cherie says she's here with Earl Grey tea, ready to collage. Awesome. I'm here with my trusty cup of coffee. And hey, Val, I'm glad you can hear me and see me. That's awesome. Thank you, Philippa. I appreciate that. And Cherie says, love it in situ. Sorry, missed you too. Yeah, I'm sorry we missed you, but I hope you took in the whole show and saw some of the performances. I just doff my cap to the organizers of In Situ because it's such a big effort to put that show on. Weeks and weeks ahead of time, they were putting in all the props and they set up all these elaborate rooms with not only the artist installations, but I don't know if you got to the speakeasy area with the bar the temporary bar they made. Yeah, and then on Sunday, when I went on Sunday to take down, it was just like this whoosh of activity as everyone was rushing around to deinstall. But yeah, it's for 3 nights. It's an insane amount of work, but it also makes it special when it has that short amount of time, right? So. Yeah, so I'm glad you made it. Hey, Nellie. Thank you. I hope to get well soon, too. I'm going to get a good night's rest tonight, and hopefully that will help. Yeah, you're welcome for not sharing the cold. Yes. Hey, Kathleen. And hi, Brian. Yes, no worries. So what if I'm going to switch to the overhead camera in a moment. I'd be curious what you guys have in mind for flag. I was thinking about flags and thinking about how they have so many different sort of messages. They can be something we rally under. They can also be, sadly, often they're a sort of an us rather than them kind of a thing, but they can also be a unifying thing, right? So I think it really all depends on context. So I'm going to take a nautical flag approach, and seeing as this is my first collage jam as Kat, I'm going to see how I can spell cat or Katya with nautical flags and play with that. So hey, Gunta, awesome. Nice to meet you too. Thank you. I appreciate that. So what do you guys have in mind for flag? If you're going to work with the prompt, of course, you don't have to. It's optional as always. But if you have any flag ideas, pop them in the comments. And meanwhile, I will get the camera on the overhead now. So we're going to go black for a moment while I get it to the overhead, but hold tight, and then we'll get this party started. All right, and I just have to, I can't see it in my YouTube window. I have to check my other camera window here. See where I am. Make sure things are reasonably lined up. There we go. All right, so I've brought out the heavy-duty mic because this voice is not nearly as strong as I would like it to be. So get it nice and close, and hopefully we'll be all right. So, all right, so I'm going to. I also have up on my screen nautical flags, and I'm just going to look up what they look like. So let's just jot it down. So K is yellow and blue divided in half. A is, oh, spoke too soon. It's got a chevron shape to it. Blue and white. Oh, depending on how complicated it is, I think, and it's looking simple so far, I might do Katya, since just to have a little more to do. T, where's T? Okay. T is here. Okay, so that's sort of like, why did I divide it in its thirds? And it's red and blue, kind of like the French flag, or almost like the French flag. And then Y is, well, that's fun. Y is alternating diagonal stripes of red and yellow. And A we already know. Cool. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do, something with that. So, and let us know in the comments what you have in mind. Oh, and Lisa said hi earlier. Sorry, Lisa, I missed you. Hey. She says she's going to do a portrait and taking the colors from a flag. Ooh, awesome. I love that. I love that. And Joy says maybe some hot ginger tea. Oh yeah, from the yeah, no, I love ginger. Ginger and honey and lemon. It's a good thing for the throat. Thank you, Joy. And I thought it would be interesting for me anyway to, maybe I'll get a bigger sheet of paper. The nautical flags themselves are very crisp and graphic, obviously, so I thought it would be interesting if I could make them a little less crisp, a little looser, goosier. So we'll see what I can come up with. Flags are kind of like the ultimate in graphic design simplicity, and they're kind of like one of the, I don't know how far back flags go, but they've certainly been a way of identifying a place or a group of people, like an army or an area for a very long time, haven't they? So they're really sort of ingrained in our consciousness. And it's funny how they take how much, or it's remarkable how much emotional charge they take on once people start to identify with it. And this is why, like, when you change a country's flag, like we did in the 50s when they changed to the maple leaf, there was bitter division about like whether we should change it, what if we are going to change it, what it should be changed to. And I know that that anytime you change a symbol that people are invested in, right, it's a big deal. So so it looks like I'm going to need a fair bit of blue and a bit of yellow and a bit of red. So looks like that. So they're all like primaries, it seems. That and white. All right, so I thought maybe it would be, yeah, I'm going to try and be less fussy today. So fingers crossed. Just be more, just thought, okay, they're flags, so they probably, I'll make some kind of a blue background for them, you know, allude to sky. And maybe I'll put something that looks like water along the bottom. I don't know. But try to be not so I'm just feeling a little more like being loose. So I'm going to maybe break them up a little bit more. I don't know, that one feels like it should be along the bottom, don't you think? All right. And so how about that snowstorm, eh? That was crazy, and now it's like almost all gone. I know the organizers at In Situ were very disappointed that the snow happened on the Friday night, because I think it really impacted how many people came out. Cherie, you were there, right? Was it really kind of dead on Friday? It sounded like it from what the organizers told me, but it's too bad given that it's such a short event. But that's the nature of events, right? I mean, you can't control the weather, so. I'll check in with comments in a couple of minutes. The one thing I won't use in the background is like a dark, like a navy blue, because that'll be the flag's blue. I'll use that on the flags. And I guess the next question will be like, well, how do I arrange these flags? Probably in a row. Maybe they could sort of tumble a little bit or jostle across. That might be nice. Excuse me. Gunther, did you get the snow down in St. Catharines as well, or did you avoid it? I know sometimes you guys get significantly warmer weather than the rest of us. It's very good to be back making. I've been doing a lot of graphic design work because I did all the signage for In Situ, and so that was down to the wire and very design oriented, which was fun. I haven't done much design work lately, so it was fun. But it's nice to do something with my hands again rather than all screen oriented. Although screen is what I'm going to be shifting back into pretty much right away, because I have the artist project coming up, and I have to do a bunch of digital work on a bunch of collages that I did to get them ready for printing. Yeah, so I'm behind with definitely behind, but hopefully we'll be able to make up the time for the artist project, because that's in like just a little over 2 weeks, which is a little bit terrifying, but hopefully it'll all come together. Sometimes it's a little worrying being so busy, but it beats the alternative, that's for sure. It is nice to have lots to do. Usually, anyway. Oh, and I did say I'd check comments, so why don't I do that? All right, so So Cherie says she's not working on flags. She's too busy with her small collages for Jumble. Oh, excellent. Awesome, Cherie. Thank you for that. Yeah, she's working on submissions for the Jumble in celebration of World Collage Day, and that's the one I'll be jurying. So awesome. Thank you, Cherie. Val says she's working on the Paris Collage Collective Challenge, still trying to think what to do with the flag theme. Well, no rush. You can work on Paris Collage Collective and see what happens with the flag theme later. And Gunta says, add a pinch of cayenne pepper and a shot of booze to the ginger lemon tea. Sip it while you sit in a steam hot bath. That's awesome. Yeah, I know. I definitely do the cayenne for sure. Gunta says, did get a dump here, but not too bad. Right, all melted off by Saturday afternoon. Wow, that's fast. Yeah, I mean, most of ours is gone, but yeah. Cherie said, oh no, it didn't seem that to me, but this was my first time attending, so I have nothing to compare it to. Hard to tell who was hosting and who was attending. It was immersive. Yeah. Okay, good. Well, I'm glad it didn't seem too scant, but it was definitely thronging or teeming or whatever word you want to use, bustling on the last night. On Thursday night, because it was a school night, it was busy in the early part of the evening, and then it tapered off quickly, as you would expect, because people didn't want to stay out late. So usually the Friday and Saturday nights are busier. Barring snowstorms. So get this little bit of sky done, and then I'll be able to move on to my flags. I might make my I might make my flags as sub-assemblies, like make them ahead of time and then get them made and then figure out the exact positioning after they're made. I think that might make the most sense. Yeah, I like a different one for that. Maybe a bit of this. So is anyone else submitting to Jumbo, the miniature? I hope a few more of you are, because I'd love Virtual Collage Jam to be well represented at that show. It would be fun. All right, so I got that, and I got to find my little diagram there. All right, so let's grab some white paper to. Oh, okay, well, not white paper for the first one. The K is yellow and blue, so I'm gonna grab. I think I'll make each one out of a few pieces. So I'll gather some dark blues and some yellows. And I guess I need to think about how big they have to, but they could overlap a bit. But how many would fit if I want to get, but I'll jostle them. So I'm thinking maybe a couple of inches across. The nautical flags are always square, I think. Except for the numbers ones, but the letter ones are square proportion. So I'll just go with a couple of inches across, I think. Or am I thinking? Yeah, actually, I think more like 2.5. Is 3 too big? 3's too big. I think 2.5. Okay. And of course, my instinct is to cut it out precisely. So I'm going to try and slap my wrist a little bit and not do that. And try and just ballpark it, because I don't do that enough. And then I'll paste other bits onto these things. So for the yellow, maybe I'll get some from some flowers, some painted papers, some colored paper. So, yep, it's getting chaotic in here. I've only just started. Brian, what are you cooking up today? Do you have a plan, or are you chilling, or you're working with the prompt or something else? I'm probably getting too diverse in my yellows or my colors, but I can always paste stuff over top if it gets too if it's too varied. I'm sorry that I'm snuffling at you guys. That must not be very nice to listen to, but I've taken my cold meds, so hopefully they'll kick in. Or maybe they already have, and this is as good as it's going to get. I don't know. I definitely feel like maybe a little bit more zing in that yellow, but that this blue is too flat and boring. So I'm gonna, but it is just the base. It was designed to be the base. So I'll let it show through in a couple of spots, but I will put in some, I'll put in some more variety and maybe a little more chroma too. Like this is a juicier blue, this one. It is very, it does feel very liberating to just work this quickly and not as fussily. So I think that's sort of against my nature usually, but not all the time. I think it's good to switch it up a little bit. I keep pitching things aside and then I'm having to bring them right back. I'm trying to make things some sane space here. All right. I think I just have to forget about the idea of sane space. Ooh, this gel plate print has some nice blue in it. All right, I'll just check in with, excuse me, what you guys are saying. Oh, Jane, awesome. Thank you. Jane says she's got a couple to submit to Jumbo, and Brian says he's making his second flag collage. Awesome. Yay. You guys are cooking. And Brian, what, sorry, I don't mean to keep singling you out, but flag collage, elaborate a little bit if you don't mind. And if anyone else wants to tell us a little bit more about what they're collaging, that would be great. Like, Val, what's the Paris Collage Collective challenge this week? I mean, I know you guys are trying to work, so don't feel obliged to answer, or you can answer later, or I just, I like to have a bit of give and take. Another piece is maybe not a good idea. Too samey. All right, let's look for another blue. See what I can find. Ooh, there's something there. That's some nice blue right there. And it's varied too, which is great. It's got highlights and type, and so that's nice. I like that. I definitely want to include a bit of that. All right. On the yellow side, I feel like, maybe it's all right. You know what? I'm going to think about it. I'm going to call that one almost done and move on to the next one. And I can always come back and tweak a little bit if I don't like it. Okay, so next one has a chevron shape and has a blue side again, but a white side this time. And so if it's got a white side, I'm going to try and make it out of like off-whites or interesting whites at least. Somewhere. It's buried, I'm sure. I pulled out a white sheet that had an interesting texture on it, but I can't find it. Oh, this might. That's interesting. Maybe I'll use this Tyvek, which has a little bit of a cream color to it. And although it's hard to, I wonder how easy it will be to stick to. And there's no tearing Tyvek because it's so tough, so I'll have to cut it with scissors. We'll see whether it'll work. All right, I'm just going to put a few things away so that I don't lose my mind. Blue's back in the blue drawer. Just a few of them anyway. And before I break out the white drawer, or the neutrals drawer is what it actually is. It has black, whites, and grays, but I thought this is really nice for the white side. In fact, well, it's tempting to just use it on its own, but I will try to refrain and try and make it a little more interesting than that. And I'll use it as sort of a base piece and work up from there. And Kathleen, what are you cooking up? Are you collaging? You just chilling and watching, or do you have a collage on the go? I see a couple of comments rolling in. I will check in a couple minutes. And and see what you guys are saying. Trying to make my white interesting and not pure white, but not far off, but still read as white. So trying to include little bits of other things, but so that it still reads overall as a white. I may have to dial it back a little bit from what I've done, but putting little bits of type in. We'll see. All right, and so this flag for the A has white on one side and blue on the other, just like this one, blue on that half, but then a chevron. So what I'm going to do is I'll just cover it in blue, and then I'll cut that diagonal out from everything after the fact, I think. Although that might make it look too crisp. So maybe, because one of the things I'm trying to do is be looser, so this has like torn edges showing up. So maybe what I'll do is put a bunch of blue down, cut the chevron out, and then put one or two more pieces on that overhang it a little bit so that it's not too pure. All right, let's see what you guys are saying. Val says that the Paris Collage Collective Challenge is very strange face. It's a very strange face. Ooh, that's awesome. I should let Kim know because she loves to do work with strange faces. So Brian says one soda surreal and a flag dress. Ooh, I love that. Philippa says she's just chilling today, sipping on some hot chocolate. Perfect. Oh, there's a problem with the stream, is there? Okay. You know what? It might have been my computer. Might have gone to sleep. So I'm okay now, I hope. It's so annoying because I don't have a view of what you guys are seeing as much as but hopefully we're back and good. Kathleen says just chilling, enjoying a collageal atmosphere. I love that. Helped install a show at Nielsen today, right? Yeah, so you just want to rest, right? Jane and I both put collage work in. Awesome, guys. That's so great. I love it. Okay, image is back. Are you getting the audio and visual now, hopefully? So let me know if it's working. Already. But it's fine now? Okay, thank you, Philippa. I appreciate you letting me know. Okay, so I'm just going to set my computer not to go to sleep because I think it normally doesn't, but because I don't have a changing image on my screen, I think that might be the problem, why it wants to go to sleep. So, all right, hopefully we're good now. tech. It's great when it works, and it's a challenge when it doesn't. But hopefully we'll be okay. Knock wood. And yeah. I'm really not sure why I could not get the camera to show up. I'm just glad you guys are actually seeing it because I'm not. All right, I need blues again. There's some hiding down under here. Something like this image here, where the blue has all kinds of because it's a very shiny, reflective blue that she's wearing. It picks up all kinds of highlights and shadows and reflections. So it like I ripped a piece out of that, and it's great. It's one piece brings all these different kinds of blues in it. It's awesome. All right. Now I think we're getting somewhere good with these. Oh, that's sort of too much the same. So change that a little bit. Okay. I'm way over the edge, so half of this I won't even see. All right, so now I could measure it, but I'm just going to wing it. All right. So now I'll put one or two more little pieces on to make that edge not so pristine. And there, for those of you, well, actually, I don't know what the restrictions are. Maybe people from abroad can also enter, but there's a collage show. I think the call is out now from the John B. Aird Gallery. They have an annual collage call, and so let me know if anyone's planning on entering that as well. That's a good opportunity. They have and I think there's a digital catalog as well. I don't know whether the exhibition is only digital or whether it's in person. I know during COVID they did a bunch of exhibitions where they were just online. So I don't know whether they're sticking with that or whether they've changed. If anyone knows, let us know in the comments. But yeah, that John B. Aird is a good show to be in. And Kathleen was mentioning that she and Jane had work in the Nielsen show. Does anyone else have collage work out at another show somewhere? I always love to see my collagers getting into shows. Showing people the way of collage. Oops. Excuse me. All right. Yeah, I think, yeah, I may need to make my background a little less busy, but I will cross that bridge when we get there. That's another reason, another good reason for doing what I'm doing. That idea of like working on these little sub-assemblies, because I can position them and then I can look at them and think, oh, does it stand out enough? Do I need to change what goes underneath it? Or like, because if I glue them down as I go along, then I have to, it's a little less easy to fix that. But for instance, if I wanted to change the background, I could just slip something else underneath. So that's a good reason for doing it the way I'm doing. Also, it allows me to just like, you know what, while I'm working on this is the only thing I'm worrying about, right? I'm not seeing the rest of this, thinking about that. I'm just like, okay, make this flag. And then I'll do the same thing with the next one, make this flag. And then I'll start looking at where they get positioned, how they get composed, whether what's underneath them needs to change before I glue them down. And that can be dealt with afterwards, right? One thing at a time. Don't have to cross every bridge at the beginning, right? So I'm
just going to slide a printout of flags that you.
Oh yeah, thank you. It's all right. I've managed, Kim. Thanks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've made a printout of the flags, and Kim saying here I'm just going to slip it underneath the floor, but I got what I needed from the internet just by sketching. So, Jane says, "Gotta go, Kat. Thanks. Your flag looks good. I like that you're winging." Thank you, Jane. Nice to have you along. Thanks for dropping by. And Cherie says she's entered 2 pieces in the John B. Aird show. Awesome. Way to go, Cherie. They are in online shows with an electronic catalog. Yeah, and it's like a PDF that you can have, right? So that you can download, which is pretty great. So, and if you wanted to, you could even like print off your page or on nice paper so that people can see it, put it up on the wall. Val says, I have a piece in the Georgina Arts Center. The show is called Letters to the Earth. Oh, that's perfect for your work, Val. That's awesome. Yay. Yeah. I love that you guys are getting collage out there. Thank you. That's awesome. All right, so I need to, what's my next flag? My next flag is like a French square, but like a French flag. Probably the French flag is a different orientation in terms of what side the red and blue is on. But okay, red on this side and blue on that side in thirds, and white in the center. Okay, I found my imperfect white piece that I was looking for earlier, so I'll use it for this flag. Perfect. Figure out the approximate size there, and away we go. And start. Okay, well, since I have blues out already, I'll just stick with blue, seeing as I've got them right in front of me. It's funny, like every one that I've done so far has blue on this side. This one, it's only a third this time, but it's still blue, which is funny. I'm getting good at doing good right-hand blues. That sounds like a song title, doesn't it? Right-hand blues. And actually, no, you know what? I was going to say that I should vary the white first and then put these on the sides, but I'm just going to go ahead the way I was starting, and I'll lay in some white pieces. Because I think that instinct was to be more controlly or more carefully, and I'm working against that today, so I'll just keep with that idea of fighting that inner control freak a little bit. All right, keep that down there, and what's something else happening here? I think maybe a bit of just a little hint of a solid blue would be interesting, and maybe not perfectly solid, maybe like this torn one that's got a little bit of interest to it. Yeah, that's good. I like that. This, I don't know, I guess it's the sort of tearing and the sort of patching things together, but this feels a bit sort of like painting with paper to me. You know, each little scrap that I lay down is like a little brush stroke. You know, sometimes they're bigger, sometimes they're smaller, but they're all relatively small. Oh, I just had an idea, like, which is, well, it's an idea that I stole from Derek Gores, so it's not really my idea at all, but this idea of this piece has white and blue on it. So, in fact, I'm going to go a little bit more, going to go for it a little bit more, obviously, and use that to be for both the blue of the flag and the white of the flag. Maybe not quite so big, but yeah, that was something I thought was really smart that Derek Gores does. When he's creating an edge, he'll often look for an edge in his collage materials and then use the visual edge in his collage like that. And I think that's so clever, because it gives you both variety and unity, because it's the same piece, but it gives you the division where you want the division. But it's not a cut edge or a torn edge. It's a printed edge. So, all right. So I'm going to find some reds now. This one I just happened to flip over my blue piece and it had some red on it. So sounds like a good place to start. And I'm going to sort of go in, but I'm going to put in some white pieces as well. Try and just sort of because I'm working with collage, it doesn't mean I can't go back and forth between red and white as I go, which is cool. It's amazing how many things that read as white actually aren't white. This magazine paper I think is older, so it's got like a really sort of warm, creamy color to it, which is nice. Maybe I'll use a little bit of this with a little bit of text in it. Yeah, I think that'll be good. All right, where is it? I need to get this off my glue sheet. It's really stuck down there. I don't know. All right, I'll go for it anyway. And maybe saw that angel? No. All right. Yeah, I just need to find a few more red pieces. Some of them are right in front of my eyes, so I won't argue with that. I didn't even, that was just a scrap of red that happened to be on my yellow piece I was using for yellow, but you know, as soon as you start looking for something, you find it. Well, not always, right? Sometimes it's the opposite, but in this case, I just looked down for red and it was right in front of my eyes, which is nice. I've already got some of her jacket in there, so maybe I'll now go looking in my red file. Oh, this is fun. This is like Kim made mock-ups of some of her work, and so this is like a reject, but it's kind of fun because I get to use something that she came up with and put it in a different context, which is kind of fun. Because she knows I collage, she'll say, "Well, here, what do you want this for your collage?" Like, and I'll be like, "Yeah, I'll take that, thanks." And so that's kind of fun that I get to poach some of her stuff. And I also will put some of my own things, like if I have, if I'm doing prints of something, like to check it, like I'm doing graphic design or I'm looking at the color of something and I do a print and then I'm done with it. I will often throw it in my collage bin so that I can then use it. So sometimes I end up collaging little pieces of like other kinds of art, other kinds of my own art, which is fun. right, I don't know that this actually needs much more than that. I think I might put one more piece of red on the bottom just to have a little more variety, but I think it's pretty close. Yeah, just a little down there, something or other. But other than that, I think it's done, which is cool. Yeah, just like a little, this bottom is made up of just like two pieces, and I think just one more slightly different note is good in there. So I'll just put that in and we're done. Or I think that's good enough for now. Looks like that wants to come apart. Put that glued back together. All right, so so the next one, the Y, is red and yellow diagonal stripes. So that'll be a little more work, but I'm sure it'll be fine. And how would I go about that? I could either make a base of red or a base of yellow and put stripes across it, or I could try and do alternating stripes. I think I'm going to go with a base. I'll make a base of varied yellows, and then I'll put red stripes across it. And I can always fine tune with a few more pieces of yellow if my red gets too rambunctious. So. All right, there we go.